This is the Nike S.T Charge, and it's one of the most spec'd out budget shoes Nike makes. It absolutely embarrasses other shoes in the same category that Nike charges way more money for. And just like these, I'm going over 6 other shoes that also have insane value for money, which are all shockingly better and more affordable alternatives to the expensive options. So if you were just about to pull the trigger on one of these expensive ones, I might just save you some money. But let me just run through some of the specs on this shoe just to give you an idea. You've got a brand new rubber called XDRX, making these one of the most rugged shoes that Nike makes. The rubber also extends onto the side of the shoe, covering like 70% of these things, which means whatever you want to do in this pair of shoes, wear them casually, play ball in, or use them as just a gym sneaker, they're going to last a very long time. But what's so strange about this pair of shoes is the quality to price ratio and just how premium these things feel compared to other shoes that Nike charges a similar amount of money for. The tongue is really nicely designed with added holes for breathability. It's also very well padded along with the ankle area, and you pair that with the shouldnt 3.0 drop-in insole, which also has an articulated air zoom unit in the forefoot, and that makes these things extremely well cushioned and feel great walking around in. You've got some other really cool details on here as well, like the laces, which just feel a lot more premium than the standard ones that come with a lot of Nike budget shoes. You've got anodized metal eyelets on the side, which, I mean, just look sick. They kind of look like titanium or something. You've also got a transparent Nike swoosh, which I really like as an added touch. It's something they would never normally do for a budget pair of shoes, but I just think it looks so cool, especially with the drop-in insole. The overall design is just really, really nice. It reminds me a lot of the Ja 3, which is a pair that I wear a ton. It's one of my favorite basketball shoes, but comparing these side by side to those, it's just not even a competition. These things feel way more premium. But unlike the rest of the sneakers on today's list, these do unfortunately come with a caveat, and that is just the fact that these are currently only available in Asia. Now, there was one colorway that did drop in the US, the Cade Cunningham PE, and it does look like they are going to roll this sneaker out globally, but we're not entirely sure exactly when. Thanks to the internet, you can still find these things pretty easily online, and hell, maybe if you're ever traveling in Asia, you can pick these things up while you're out there, which ultimately I highly recommend. These things are dope. But next is a pair that really surprised me given how popular the expensive version is. Honestly, I think this affordable version is going to take over. It's the Adidas Adizero Pacer, which, yes, I know, identical to the Evo SL. And for $50 less, in some ways, they're actually better, which is pretty crazy to say because I love my Evo SLs. They're among some of my favorite shoes and a pair that I wear all the time. So when I bought these, I was genuinely expecting an inferior experience. However, these Pacers are just extremely good value for money. Visually speaking, they're practically indistinguishable from the more expensive Evo SL. Like, I mean, if you were wearing these things, you would not know which one is which. Same shape, same design, there is just a few small little tweaks. Starting with the midsole. These come with Light Strike, whereas these come with Light Strike Pro. Now, the Pro naming obviously makes you think like, oh, the Evo SL is going to be more comfortable, but it's not. In fact, if you're wearing these things casually or you're a recreational runner, you might prefer Light Strike. It takes the soft, squishy comfort that you find in the Evo SL, but it just doesn't have that responsiveness and that bounce that come with those. But without that snappy feeling, it makes these walking around in a really comfortable experience. There's slightly more padding in the ankle area as well as a beefed up tongue, which I think adds to the comfort as well. The overall material on the upper is thicker, which leads to these being slightly heavier than the Evo SL, but will lend to overall durability over time. You also have more coverage of the Adiwear traction pattern on the outsole, which again will kind of lead to more durability as well, but it's still super breathable and just genuinely a really nice pair of shoes to walk around in. And for just $100 or potentially less when they go on sale, I think these are a no-brainer. But speaking of shoes that are no-brainers, I can't think of a better fit than the Nike V5 Rnr. Look, if you're still buying the Vomero 5s in 2026, what are you doing? You must not know about this pair of shoes. I mean, I know I talk about it a lot, but I can't make a video about affordable alternatives without these being on it. In my opinion, this is the best retro runner on the market in this price category. Yes, I would take these over the Asics 1130 or the New Balance 530 or 740. These are just incredible. Soft cushioning underfoot, an incredibly well padded upper that has a lot of beefiness around the ankle area and the tongue, but then also is really soft around around the toe area, which just leads to a little bit more freedom for your feet and just feels great walking around. And nowadays they do these things in so many different colorways and different versions, and you can even find some of them on sale for like $50 to $60. It's honestly one of the best shoes that Nike makes, and in my opinion, just an incredibly good looking pair as well. But I'm not going to spend too long on these because I know if you're a regular of the channel, you've heard me speak about these a lot. So let's swing back round to Adidas, because one of the most popular and hyped up sneakers that are currently available on the market is these incredibly expensive shoes. Hey, if you wanted to buy these things, yeah, that'll cost you $1,000, which is insane considering these will cost you just $130. This is the Adidas Adistar XLG, and the reality is, I don't think it's just an affordable alternative. I think for a lot of people, it's better. Now, granted, you may prefer the outlandish design of these things, which honestly is completely fair. I love these things too. They're wild, but it's also pretty insane. Like for most people, it's gonna be a pretty jarring experience trying to style these things with your current outfits. I mean, that's mainly due to the fact of how incredibly wide and oversized this shoe is. Even people like me who loves chunky shoes, it's definitely a learning curve trying to style these things up. The Adistar, in comparison, is a slightly slimmer profile, which is crazy to say because it's still an incredibly chunky pair of shoes. It just speaks to how insane these are. But yes, you're definitely going to have a much easier time styling these, pairing them with a bunch of different outfits, and generally speaking, walking around in them. In terms of comfort and how they feel on foot, it's practically the same. They've got the same cushioning, just a different shape. I mean, both of the shoes are comfortable sneakers, but because these are slightly lighter, you might prefer that. And now that Adidas is putting out so many new colors of these things, there's so many options that just genuinely look incredible. Like I love this blue and sail pair. It gets me like 90% of the jellyfish in terms of looks at just a tenth of the price. Now, granted, this next one won't save you a ton of money, but it's just so good, I feel like it has to be on the list. It's the Nike Ava X, an altered version of the extremely popular Ava Rover. And of course, it's obviously cheaper. $20 cheaper to be exact, which I know is nothing crazy, but you can already find the Ava X for less than $100 even on Nike's website. The reason I like this pair of shoes so much is because of how incredibly lightweight it is, how extremely breathable it is, and ultimately how insanely comfortable it is. The midsole is made of Cushlon 3.0, which is one of my favorite foams from Nike. It's just soft, squishy, and amazing to walk around in. And strangely, this sneaker is promoted as kind of a packable, convenient shoe. I mean, in the advertisement for this, they show it being shrink wrapped or vacuum sealed. I'm taking that as the idea of like they're easy to travel with, which they are, but it's a similar concept to other Nike shoes in the past where the upper just is stripped of everything unnecessary. No added bulk or added weight. So pretty much you're just feeling all of the cushion that's underfoot. I do think it's one of the best summer shoes that you can buy. You will love the breathability and lightness of this pair, and for $100, I think you're gonna get a ton of use out of it. But just like the Ava X, unfortunately this next one is not going to save you a ton of money either. It's the Anthony Edwards Believe That One. Yes, they took his catchphrase and turned it into the name of the shoe. But the main reason this isn't going to save you a ton of money is just because of how affordable the AE1 and 2 already was. I mean, you could go for the AE1 low for $110. The AE2s will run you a little bit more. But the amazing thing about this $100 sneaker is how it kind of combines the best of both of those shoes into one. Now, if you hated the design change going from the AE1 to the 2s, you're most likely going to like this pair. It's just a very good looking pair of sneakers. Now, it doesn't have light boost in the midsole like the other ones did. This now comes with a cushioning called Dream Strike, but honestly, you've got such a small amount of boost in the AE1 and 2 that it will practically feel pretty similar. I mean, all of these are basketball shoes, so they're not meant to feel super soft and squishy underfoot. But surprisingly, just like the AE1 and 2, these are very comfortable. And honestly, I think you might prefer these. I think it's a great option and a solid choice, but this last one is something that you will regret making the wrong choice. It's the $20 Yeezy Slide. I guess we can't really call them the $20 Yeezy anymore. They're $40 now. But even with that price increase, if you're on the market for a new pair of Yeezy Slides, you should definitely not be considering the Adidas ones. Now, I know that I've made a full review on these, and if you want to check that out, feel free. But since then, things have gotten a little bit better. Not only do they now come in a box, but they also have faster shipping, which was definitely one of the biggest downsides of ordering anything off of Yeezy.com. They come in a bunch of colorways, some of which are even better than what the Adidas ones came in. But basically, the price point is the main thing. You're looking at $100 to $200 for the Adidas ones, whereas these ones are $40 and never go out of stock. Oh, and if you want, you can also opt for the new Yeezy Slide as well. I did make a full video on these as well, but in short, they are great. It's like a new refreshing look to the Yeezy Slide, considering that, you know, the original is like 7 years old now. You don't get as much foam in them, which could be a pro if you found the first ones to be a tripping hazard, like a lot of people did. The foam in these is not quite as soft as the O1s, which also, if you're wondering between the Adidas ones and the YSO ones, they're identical in every way. The same foam is being used. Like, if anybody tries to tell you that the Adidas ones have softer foam in them, they don't. I durometer tested them, the number is identical. But if you want me to find the best affordable alternatives on the planet, you're gonna have to let me know in the comments if I should do a part 2. Oh, and if you want to know if any of the new Yeezy shoes are worth it, well, I rank all of them in this video right over here. Click on it to check it out.